Well, I do have a job. So sometimes it's
Yeah,
hard
you
to do
have a
so.
job. I don't,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm just like 1099 superstar these days.
You're a very
So I got
hard
to go to
worker.
the Bahamas and work remote from crappy Wi-Fi and try
Why?
not to get fired today.
Why'd you do that with the air quotes? You said work remote? Why'd you do that? Or you are
Well,
working remote?
I'm working, but I did pull one of your cards today, and I had a 2 margarita lunch. So I worked this morning, and then I thought, you know
Went
what?
the wrong way.
It's just fuck around hour with me and John Murray. I can have 2 margaritas with Ariel
Wait,
at lunch. It's fine.
how is that? How is that pulling my card? I don't have
You had
margaritas at lunch.
2 beers and a shot before our last show.
One
I
beer.
watched the other
One
show.
beer.
Oh, 1 beer and 1 shot?
Hmm?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Totally acceptable.
You're celebrating your birthday. Is that correct? But it's not. It's not
Okay,
until later in the month.
so my birthday is always like the day before Thanksgiving, or the weekend after, and it sucks. Every year it sucked. My 21st birthday was on Thanksgiving. My 18th birthday was on Thanksgiving. I think my 30th birthday was on Thanksgiving. So nobody ever gets to do fun things with me, and I always feel really bad. So when I got to like looking around at different like basketball tournaments, because I wanted to support the K-State basketball team a little bit more this year, I was like, holy crap, they're going to be in the Bahamas. That's a 1 hour flight from where I live now. Very easy to do. And
That's
I
cool.
basically convinced everybody that they should come here and join me as well. So we're going to go to the Baja Mar tournament Friday and Sunday. I got to work a little bit Thursday as well, but Saturday is going to be a problem. We'll just leave it at that.
So you're telling me that Ariel Epstein she's on this trip?
Yes.
Because wasn't she just in the Caribbean like last week?
She was. She goes to the Caribbean every, I think, like early November with her family. And so, yes, she was just in Aruba. But I know her. So I actually got her job at PointsBet. Long story short, it's a really small industry, as you know, right?
Yeah,
so we have the same agent. And my old boss, Rob at PointsBet, sorry if I can't say that on the show, texted me and he was like, hey, do you know Ariel? I've been trying to work with her agent. I go, what do you mean? Her agent's my agent. And I was like, oh, his wife's pregnant. There's all these maybe reasons why things aren't connecting. And, there were some rumors that they may go under, right? There's a lot of rumors floating around our industry all the time. And she's like, hey, I don't know. And I said, let's get on the phone with Rob. And Rob's a doll. I love him. He actually texted me how much he hates me because he lost a $95,000 parlay last week. Apparently that was my fault. That being said, Ariel went to work for him. So I said, hey, Rob, it's my birthday. I'd really like Ariel to come if we do some content at the Baja Mar tournament, because, they have a sports book here. There's going to be odds up on the tournament. Can she please come? And he said, yeah, I don't care. As long as you guys do some stuff. And I said,
wait a minute. Can you go back? When did you work at PointsBet?
I didn't. I worked for Rob at CBS.
Oh, he worked at CBS.
And now he left and went to PointsBet. Again, small industry. It's just like
it's a very small industry.
You guys all like Lisa works at freaking Bellagio now. Like I'm still scarred. I'm like, I come to Vegas and my favorite teller isn't even there.
I saw Lisa last week. She came in. We had lunch.
Oh, good. You bought? Did you pay? Oh no, you comped it. Never mind.
No, somebody else paid. I don't know.
Executive comp.
I think I made one of the tellers pay out of their own wallet with their own money. So Ariel, this is her second Caribbean trip of what's her next job going to be? Like president of the United States? I mean, she's on vacation at the beach every week. It's just unbelievable. It's the middle of football.
It is the middle of football. It is very hard to do this. In hindsight, had I known, you know what? Shout out to Twitter, X. They told me this morning to use a hotspot on my phone. Well, I'd never set it up. So I was frantically, before my first show this morning with Bettor, I was frantically trying to call AT&T and get it set up. Apparently it's not that hard, but I got it done. I was only 17 minutes late this morning, and it kind of threw everything into a tizzy. And then Wager Talk just said, you know what, just record your intros and outros and just go have fun. And that's when I got the 2 margarita lunch break. And then you said, hey, we can record early, which is in hindsight amazing because we have a chef coming to the house tonight. And I am not going to be well tomorrow.
You guys are living very well in what is a struggling economy. I'm happy for you both.
They ain't struggling here. Do you know how much it is for a gallon of milk in the Bahamas? It's like $12.
What?
I'm not lying. Yes. And if a strange man walks behind me here shortly, it's because the plumber from the Airbnb got instructed to come over and fix my sink. So nobody be alarmed. Brett knows he's here. I swear, I'm just waiting.
I thought you were going to say Brett was going to walk behind you.
No, Brett is at the liquor store with Ariel. Hello. We have to go get wine for dinner tonight for the chef.
Well, that does make sense. So you were upset on Saturday. Did you not? What happened to you on Saturday? You sent me a few texts. You were complaining. I actually lost a bet. I had Pittsburgh, and they lost to Syracuse.
Oh yeah, I was very annoyed because the sharp plays you gave me did so well.
Why did you do? When you did this, was that for sharp or you gave me the airport?
They were sharp. They were not sharp. KU was an absolute abomination, and it's fine. You know what? I'm glad they lost outright. Whenever I make bets on Monday, they tend to lose outright. I get all the CLV in the world. It doesn't matter. So I've stopped doing that. I'm only making bets Wednesday going forward. You don't even. What's the point of getting the best of the number, John Murray? Like seriously.
Well, long term, it's still going to be I hate Pitt.
Yeah. So when I'm 70, I'm going to look back and say, God, I'm so glad I got the best of the number. When in reality, had it been Thursday, I would have never made that KU bet.
Did you lose service at some point between Saturday and Sunday? Because Saturday, you're bitching and crying about every college football game. Sunday, I had a best bet on the 49ers, and I don't remember you saying anything about that.
So if you recall, I had one bet this week. It was the Denver Broncos. I called you Thursday morning. I said, John Murray, so what's your bet going to be? And I think I called you and I said Niners, or there was another one. And because I kind of had an idea which it would be. And he said, yeah, I think I like the 49ers. I go, good. I like them too. Don't worry. When I tweet out my list, I'll give you credit. So in hindsight, I had already bet the 49ers. You didn't really give them to me. I just gave you a nice, easy promotion on Twitter. Right. Actually, if you watched the Stack of Stats show with Pam, I told her, I said, she liked the Jags. I go, I'm pretty sure John Murray is going to be on the Niners. Because I knew she didn't give a fuck if I was on the Niners. But if John Murray is on the Niners, then she's going to listen.
Bad spot for Jacksonville. Good spot for San Francisco. Who knows what happens?
Good job. I'm very happy for you.
Who knows what happens, though? Jacksonville was down 20-3. They were in the red zone. They turned the ball over. And then from there, the game just fell apart for the Jaguars. But do you want to talk about this? Because we had Dallas last week in Survivor, and now we're talking about Jacksonville.
At some point in time, we've got to stop talking. Pretty quick. What's left? How many people are left? 600
some, yeah. I mean, are we too far?
609, I think.
Well,
here's the caveat. Everybody already knows we saved Lions for Thanksgiving. Here, let me actually just pull up the text that I sent you earlier.
Everybody knows that we're using Detroit on Thanksgiving Day,
right?
Assuming we do get through Week 11 because we already.
So the big contest in Vegas puts out a matrix, right? And they tell you who your opponents have left or who they've used, which is kind of nice, and you can use it to your advantage. So just for the record, 151 have Dallas left.
151. Okay, that's not
have Dallas left. Okay, 384 have the Lions left. That does not equal 609 or however many are left, right?
Well, what about Miami?
And then hold on, 90 have Miami left.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to think that. All right, let's talk about Week 11.
And 120 have San Fran left over the Seahawks.
You have to think that a number of people are going to use Detroit or Dallas this weekend. Detroit is hosting Chicago.
Correct.
Dallas is at Carolina. So then
out of
Miami
the
too.
210 that have Miami or San Francisco, in theory, might save them for Thanksgiving. I would. If we didn't use Dallas last week, and let's say that we decided to save Dallas for Thanksgiving, I'd absolutely love to be using the Lions this weekend.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of in this gray area where, again, everybody already knows who we're using for Thanksgiving, which is banking on that we win this weekend. But I think after Thanksgiving, we may have to go dark depending on how many people are left, because I don't want to give away any of our strategy.
Are you nervous about next week's show? I mean, we're recording a show on Monday.
We are? Did I agree to that?
Yes, you did.
I don't have that on my calendar for my vacation.
You're traveling Tuesday. We have to do the show Monday. Yes.
Well, we can do the show like Tuesday, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Eastern? No. All right, we're doing the show Monday.
Monday at what time? Let me write this down.
the Mike Riggs sent out an invite. Everything.
I don't use Google Calendar. It's right here. It's all written down. Then I see what I can do with my life.
We're doing it at 11 a.m. my time on Monday.
Okay, 11 a.m. Pacific. Got it. Okay.
Now, are you nervous about that show? Because I don't know how much content we're really going to have.
I did a show with Clay Travis on Monday this week, and I did just fine.
It was just fine. So,
well, I mean, I do all my handicapping on Sunday and Monday anyway. So, like, well, really, what's the big deal?
You do your handicapping on Sunday? Wow, you are.
Yeah, during the NFL games. What else am I going to do? Watch the NFL?
Oh God, I hope not. I did.
Yeah.
I watched the Monday night game at our buddy Chris's bar, Naked City Pizza Office.
Was he mad?
Bar.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
He was okay with it. And then Denver.
Well,
Kelly,
I think the newness is worn off Josh Allen, and everybody's losing their minds. Did you see that ESPN stole my content?
Can I say that one of Josh Allen's interceptions went right through Gabe Davis's hands, and probably should have been caught. And then the other one was a horrible interception. Buffalo made their offensive coordinator the scapegoat. They fired Ken Dorsey. It's okay.
Somebody's got to pay the price. They can't have it be Josh Allen.
We took Chris golfing the next day. We cheered him up. Yeah, he's fine. Hey. And it was very fun because we were playing with your friend Andy Samuelson, and he got all upset by a few shots that Chris.
Does he know that his team is just going to get absolutely rolled this week, or did you guys not discuss that?
Let's go to that.
I figured you were going to bring him on the show. I was going to bring Ariel in and have it be a surprise, but luckily she thinks we're recording in an hour and 20 minutes from now. That's why she went to the liquor store.
She's kind of a big celebrity. I don't know. Do we have time for her to be on the show? Yeah, Andy wants to do his Sandman's Cutting In segment. Sandman's Cutting In, but it's a Wednesday, so I'm sure he's off at a golf course somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I've ever seen the guy work in my entire life.
Like, I guarantee, I haven't talked to him today. I haven't talked to him since we left the other golf course.
But he didn't have an opinion on the football game on Saturday, or
we didn't even. You're talking about KU Kansas State. We didn't even talk about it. He was so mad.
Yeah, because I mean, KU fans are just already into basketball season. Like,
yeah. I gotta give KU basketball fans a compliment. They are so hardcore. Like, we played golf, and then Andy raced out of there to go watch the KU Kentucky game. And it's like, I mean, and I love college basketball, but who gives a shit about a college basketball game on November 14th? Doesn't mean anything.
They have to live for something, John. There's nothing else. Their baseball team sucks. Their track team's mediocre. They damn sure don't win crop judging national championships like K-State did again this weekend. So what are you going to do?
Congratulations on that. Do you want to go
another natty?
Do you want to do your long list? How long is it?
My long list is not very long this week. I'm probably going to be just really honest and say that my parlay is going to be Houston, Iowa State, UCLA. There is a chance I might use Nebraska. Nebraska is on there as well. Outside of that, there's not a lot I love. Look, I've said this before on the show. I hit these in September and October. I've never hit one in history in November. I got to do the best I can do. Had a shot last weekend, but we got the cover. We got the cover in 2 out of 3. But the week that Cal cost me Tulane, there's been 2 weeks that it's been so damn close.
Why do you feel like you have to do it? Because you seem very resigned to defeat. You're shaking your head like you have no choice. You have to do this.
No, I'm just being honest with the audience. I don't have no choice. I'm still going to bet it regardless. I'm just going to share with them at SuperBook Sports.
You're still going to bet.
But yeah, like I felt like I had to give you a same game parlay the other day, and the touchdown pass that Kincaid caught was only because Diggs wasn't paying attention. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Let's do the same game parlay spiel. Can we at least, because you didn't do a video for me.
You're right, I didn't. I was very stressed on Monday.
So can we at least talk about the big game? They make us call it the big game. We can't call it the
Super Bowl.
So
yeah, you can't do that.
It's called the illegal. Big game. And
you'll get sued. You call it the Super Bowl.
It's in February. It's in Las Vegas. If you do a $25 same game parlay, you're entered into a raffle to win 2 tickets to the big game. A stay at the Westgate.
Am I allowed to win? I don't know if I'm allowed to win.
I don't think so.
No, but I'm not a SuperBook employee.
Have you done any same game parlays on the
When
app?
I was in Tennessee, I think I bet one of them, and it did not win.
No, it's not. I don't think Tennessee's eligible. It's just the other states.
Oh, okay, great. Every state but Tennessee. Thank you.
Yeah, I know, and I think it's because of your visit. I think that's what the Tennessee regulators said.
Yes, the Tennessee gaming regulator said can't do it. Can't do it.
You're not gonna. Well, hold on a second. You're not gonna come to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
God, no.
You're not
Have you
gonna
seen what F1 is doing, which we'll get to in the question segment?
We have a mailbag question about that. Have you seen?
I have seen these videos. Holy shit!
I got to needle you a little bit.
Wait, are we gonna go back to do Survivor, or are we not doing Survivor?
I thought you didn't want to.
No, I said after Thanksgiving we have to go dark.
I'm sorry. So, okay, so Survivor, we're probably going to be between Jacksonville or Houston.
I don't want to take Houston. We're not between Houston. So here's the thing with Houston. Arizona's not tanking. Did you guys watch that game last week? They're not
obviously
tanking.
Not. Is Atlanta?
Houston looked really good after beating Jacksonville and Cincinnati on the road. That scares the shit out of me.
Atlanta is so poorly coached, they may be tanking on accident. Their team is so dumb. Their quarterback.
But Arizona isn't tanking. Otherwise, they go with the rookie, not Kyler. Because if he gets hurt again, they're screwed. So why would you usher out your franchise quarterback if you're really tanking?
Isn't it funny that we thought we were doing the prudent thing by using the Commanders, which I believe was their nickname week one.
And now they're 10-point favorites or 9.5 point
Arizona, and now they're actually a bigger favorite in week 11 against the New York Giants because the Giants are down to a third-string quarterback. We don't have the Commanders available to us. We use them week one against Arizona.
Pam and Ariel and I do. And I literally sent the text yesterday on the plane, and Ariel goes, "How drunk are you?" I go, "I had 2 mimosas at the airport. I'm not drunk at all." I go, "But it is my birthday last couple of weeks. So I'm just going to tell you, I don't care about your other opinions that may or may not win. We're using the Commanders here."
Do you think that, can I ask, I could ask Ariel and Pam, do they like being partners with you? I mean, what kind of a comment is that? I don't care about your opinion. Here's what we're doing.
Okay. So here's the problem. Pam does not understand Survivor at all. She sent multiple road underdogs many times. But Pam has kept us off a couple of times. We were going to use the Commanders versus the Bears. And Pam said, nope, I'm putting my foot down. The Bears win this game. So she saved us a couple of times. But in fairness, many weeks she sends me a team. I'm like, we already used them.
Is she not? You know who doesn't I'll tell you guys.
She doesn't look at my spreadsheet. That's for damn sure. Do you look at my spreadsheet?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good.
And
I'm glad my hard work is somewhat paid off.
We'll go back to him again. Andy Samuelson does not understand Survivor. I was in a Survivor with him last year. Every week, he's a big Chiefs fan. So every week he's like, "Oh, we should use the chefs. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, yeah, they're probably going to win. But then we can't use them again the rest of the year. And they're the best team in the league. So we got to be a little careful with when we cash in the Chiefs." Yes, Kelly and I we cashed in the Chiefs very poorly. That was one of the biggest mistakes of the year. That was a terrible.
Well, we got very lucky with the Commanders not to lose to the Cardinals. We got very lucky with the Chiefs not to lose to the Jets.
I agree. We'll probably use Jacksonville. I'll run through the sharp NFL plays later in the show. Jacksonville. We're recording this on Wednesday. Jacksonville was bet up from 6.5 to 7, pretty much across the market. Earlier this morning, I told Kelly about that. We'll probably use Jacksonville. If you don't want to use Houston,
I would rather use Jacksonville. I don't trust the Ravens to play 4 quarters. I only trust them to play in the first half. My best bet this week's Ravens -2.5 first half. Tomorrow, I can't trust this team, even though we do have them available. The only reason why I basically told Pam and Ariel we have to use Commanders. Look, if they lose to Tommy DeVito, like, hand up, fine. You guys can fucking hate me. I'll Venmo you $333. But at this point, those 2 ladies and I need to save Jacksonville. Week 17, they're going to be a very sizable favorite.
I don't want to use the Thursday game. I think the Thursday games are too wonky. I don't know. I mean, an option, because again, you got to understand. Kelly knows this, but we don't have the 49ers. We don't have the Giants or the Redskins or the football, whatever the fuck. We don't have the Dolphins. We don't have any. We're saving the Lions. We've already used Dallas.
Oh, by the way, I've gotten a couple of texts about people wanting to buy into our entry.
For how much?
They saw our tweet.
Yeah,
I haven't asked. I told them I would talk to you today. How much do you think okay, so if the guy has his up for 33,000, you have to either use the Giants or the Raiders on Thanksgiving. How much is our entry worth? Well, now that another 69 went out on Monday night.
He's got to use the Giants or the Raiders on Christmas. I think I can't answer that question because my real answer is I can't answer the question because I'm trying to make as much money as possible.
Okay.
It's not.
So
that guy's,
so we aren't. Do you want me to tell him we're not for sale? So tell the guy we're not for sale.
Name one thing in this world that is not negotiable.
I'm just asking. So he's like, okay, let me know how much you guys want. So what is our answer? 50? He wants to buy in for 25%.
Oh, he wants 25% of our entry.
Hold on, let me see what his text actually says. Hold, please.
Okay. Will he become like a regular segment on the show? If he's
Kelly, I messaged you on X earlier. I'm interested in your entry. Would be interested in half of the entry depending on the cost. I said, hey, I'm in the Bahamas. I will talk to John Murray tomorrow. Okay, just let me know what you guys would charge to be for me to be obtaining half. So, like, would half mean that he also gets a say? I guess, right? He would get a say.
I think he would. I can't imagine he'd be comfortable having 50% of the entry, and then you and I would each have 25%. Well, I mean, couldn't he then overrule us?
I think these are the parameters that need to be set in play. So, okay, we sell him half. Let's just say, what would you say for half? 20,000? We sell him half for 20,000, and then we still get a 50. We still get a 33% vote.
If this guy wants to give us $20,000 and not be the majority voter, I will accept.
Okay, I'll let him know. Should I text him right now? Okay, I'm going to text him right now. You run through the sharp plays.
I'll do college first because we kind of got off track. And I mentioned it, though. Kansas State, that number's gone up from 7 to 8. Another one that I think is really interesting, probably the most interesting team in college football the last 2 weeks has been Air Force. They lost as a huge favorite against Army. Yeah, then they lost again as a huge favorite against Hawaii. And the number they host
I can't believe I didn't bet Hawaii last week.
It's unbelievable. They host UNLV this weekend. That number just keeps coming down, down, down. UNLV right now controls their own destiny to host the Mountain West Championship game. That line is all the way down. Oh, it's unbelievable. I went to the game on Friday.
I moved out of Las Vegas, and they're finally good. I mean, they've just sucked for the 15 years I lived there.
I went to the UNLV Wyoming game on Friday. UNLV's play calling is really good. They're really well coached. I've never said that about UNLV football.
UNLV and you lived there longer than me.
UNLV's getting sharp money. It's bizarre. Here's one: Oregon State against Washington State. That's another one.
Yeah, I bet the -1 on Monday. So that probably means it's a loser because it's a CLV trophy, like I just told you guys. If I bet games on Monday, nah, I think it's not good for me.
Washington, not Washington State, and then App State.
Yes, Washington.
I'm sorry, Washington. I actually wrote down Washington. Apparently, I've lost the ability to read over the last week.
I mean, you're getting kind of old. So,
all right. Hey, look who's talking. You're the one celebrating your birthday.
I know. And Clay Travis ousted me like I was going to be upset. And I told him, I said, you should give them my social security number as well. Maybe they can pay my taxes.
Nobody can afford to pay their taxes. And sorry. Appalachian State against JMU. JMU having a storybook season. But we've seen that number come down like 1.5, 2 points to JMU 9.5 now. So I don't have a whole lot on.
Is game day going to be there? That's like super exciting for them.
No, I know. I don't have a lot on the market.
Imagine if they get upset on game day. That would suck.
That would suck. And they might. App State's pretty good. This is that funky week that Kelly likes to make fun of when all the SEC teams play a patsy before their big game the next week. So there's actually not a ton of great games. I don't think that this Saturday sets up to be a big handle week for us the way last Saturday did. And then, of course, Thanksgiving week, you got all the big rivalry games. So
there is a bunch of big rivalry games, and there's a lot of stuff at stake for championship implications, college football playoff. You may not have this in front of you, but people ask us every single week, and it's not in the mailbag this week. Do we have any implications that could cost the SuperBook a lot of money?
You're talking about what? You're talking about futures
liability? From a futures liability or anything like that? Like, is there like a team you guys do not want to see in the college football playoff?
I think we're actually in pretty good shape amongst the favorites. We've done a good job this season. We don't have there's always these teams that are far down the board that can beat you up, but there's only a few teams that can realistically win it all, and we're in pretty good shape. I think Georgia just destroyed Ole Miss on Saturday, and no one even talks about Georgia. I still think Michigan's the best team in college football, but I'm a big Coach Harbaugh guy.
So wait, does Harbaugh get a coach in the college football? Big Ten championship game, he doesn't get a coach, but he gets to coach in the college football playoff.
No, I thought he was just suspended for the remainder of the regular season. Wouldn't he be back for the Big Ten championship?
Right, but the Big Ten suspended him, so why would he be in the Big Ten championship?
I thought the suspension had an X amount of games length to it. Is that not right? I don't know. I mean,
I feel like
it's the Big Ten championship. Well, not on social media. It's the Big Ten championship game, so I feel like me or you could go coach Michigan against whoever's on the other team, and they'd probably win by like 100 points. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But he is going to miss the Ohio State game next Saturday. That's a big game.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Ohio State's looking ahead, but I think Minnesota might be the square dog there.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say I saw a whole lot on that game.
Okay. What did you see that was sharp in the NFL?
NFL, we've got a lot. So starting off Thursday night, I had mentioned to Kelly that I kind of liked Baltimore potentially as a survivor play. Because remember, we don't have a lot to choose from, and Cincinnati is a banged-up team. Some sharp groups taking Cincinnati +4. And you've got to consider, I don't like Thursday games. They're wonky. We're not going to use the Ravens tomorrow. Here, two lines have moved the most. The surprise news this morning of Deshaun Watson. He's out for the year. So maybe we were wrong to make fun of him for not playing when he said his shoulder hurt. Whoops. Deshaun Watson is out for the year. That line is now a pick'em. Steelers, Browns. And then this line's moved a ton. And if you think about it, it makes sense. Miami, they've gone from a 10-point favorite to a 13.5-point favorite. And look at the Raiders' 2 games since they fired McDaniels. They benched Kelly's future husband, Jimmy Garoppolo. They have played the Giants at home and the Jets at home, and they should have lost the game to the Jets. The Jets should have had a big lead at halftime. They squandered the game. They lost it. So we think.
I don't feel bad for anybody that bet the Jets. That's what happens when you bet the Jets.
I bet the Jets. You don't feel bad for me?
No, I had the Raiders in a teaser. I actually didn't care. I thought the game could land on a field goal, and it didn't matter. But, hey, if you guys want to squander the game and make me not have to sweat it, I won't complain.
I mentioned Jacksonville. They got bet up from 6.5 to 7. Here's one where the favorite flipped due to sharp money, Seattle. Seattle went from +1 to -1. They're at the Rams. The Rams are a mess. It's hard to remember now, but go back to week 1. The Rams actually won in Seattle on opening day.
Yeah, they were minus or +6.5.
5.5. Yeah, something like that.
5.5.
And then that's it. Actually, that's it for sharp plays. I just wanted to touch on the Monday night game is ridiculously good this week. Kansas City and Philadelphia, a rematch of the Super Bowl. We're at Kansas City, -2.5, -120. Nothing I'd call sharp, but already you're seeing so many bets on this game. That is unusual for a Monday night game. We're talking on Wednesday, kid. That's an awesome game.
Yeah, it's about time you guys get a good primetime game, right?
You've got to be excited about there's going to be so much Taylor Swift talk, and you'll be able to make so many Taylor Swift videos for your other jobs. You've got to be really excited.
Now I'm not even going to watch that game because now you just reminded me, of course, because the Kelsey brothers game. Can we just stop? Can we just be happy that maybe these people might actually care about one another and it's not like some weird psyop, and also not talk about them during the NFL? Is that possible?
I have no problem with Taylor Swift. I don't have anything to. I don't
have a problem with her either. All I'm saying is maybe they do care about each other, maybe they don't, but talk about it on TMZ. We don't need to talk about it on Monday Night Football.
Do you like Travis Kelce?
No, I think he's a douchebag. I've always thought he was a douchebag.
Why?
Just look how he behaves. People probably think I'm a douchebag. It's okay. Not everybody has to like you.
But he's a big meathead football player.
No. I like his brother. His brother's a big meathead football player. He is not He's not like Gronk, where it's like
No.
lovable fucking big doofy guy. He's not like Jimmy Garoppolo, where he's just pretty to look at and you're like, don't talk. He's like not even like maybe like smashed the like can against his head and was like a little cooler, but he's like arrogant. It's not cute.
I don't like Travis Kelce, but I do like Patrick.
But he is better than all the beta males that Taylor has dated, like all 18 of them before him.
Who has she dated previously? I want to do a nice long Taylor Swift segment. Like when you say a beta,
I know for sure John Mayer, because that's how she wrote like her whole album, because he like hurt her feelings or something.
Well, you can't say all the beta males and not name anybody. How do you know?
Okay, well, let's put it this way. You talk about him being a meathead. She's definitely never dated another athlete before. It's all like Hollywood and singers.
Singers, Hollywood people. That's all I got. Your best bet is Ravens first half. What else do you like this week at NFL?
I like the Jags -6. You said they're now -7. I don't think they're going to get to 7.5. Would love to tease them. That's really it. I've been pretty much very, very minimal in the NFL. And that's just because it's not been great. So keep it light. Todd Dewey actually asked me for a best bet. He just texted me and he's like, hey, kid, can I get a best bet for the paper? I'm like, yeah, Ravens first half. He goes, that's tomorrow night. He goes, anyone for Sunday? I go, don't have anything in the Bahamas. Gonna have another rum punch. Love you. Call me in 2 weeks. Dewey's the best. But I'm like, listen, I'm not going to – I don't think it's fair to, especially in print or in media, force something that doesn't need to be forced. You know, like you asked me to do a same-game parlay.
Yeah, for work. I asked you to do a same-game parlay for work. All right. I have to – so I'm taping tomorrow with Sam Payne.
Can't you ask like one of your other like female minions to like do it? Can't they just like put something together like with all their favorite teams and pretend that they like it? Like I actually did bet the Broncos, and I actually did bet the alternative over on rushing yards with Jamison Williams. But I did not bet Stephon Diggs first touchdown score. The reason why I put him in the parlay is because he was like -140. I wouldn't bet that in real life by itself. You can't do that.
Do you feel like you've added any pressure onto me? I got the Nesson show tomorrow with our friend Sam Panayotovich. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on me to produce a winner tomorrow? Are you nervous?
No, I don't think anybody even cares. They don't even care. You've got guys like saying you're the best. You should see the Instagram comments about you, John Murray. They love you. They are putting their mortgages on you. So yeah, I think these people will hate you because this is what happens when you jump on a hot streak. This is why I don't like a couple weeks ago, I was like, are you going to bet? Are you going to add to your lineup Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown scorer? I'm like, no, it's like -$2. Why would I add that? And then, of course, he stops scoring touchdowns and everybody loses their mind. He hit like 16 in a row. That's the problem. At one point in time, the train's going to derail. You cannot jump on at 11-0, 12-0, right? Because that's what's going to happen. I'm still going to ride it because I've been riding it for 6 weeks now. But yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure, but it's not from me. You can blame Sammy.
Right. Blame Sammy. I will do that show tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was drinking on the golf course.
It's Wednesday night. You don't even know what you're going to pick yet for tomorrow's show? You haven't done any homework. You're just flying by the seat of your pants every single week on Nesson.
I have looked at it, but I don't.
You've looked at it. Okay, what's your short list?
I can't give that kind of information out.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
You gave it to me last week. We talked about. Oh, stop.
That wasn't a private phone call. That's a problem. Me and you have had.
So you wouldn't share with our list. What is Nesson paying you? Because I don't think they are.
No, they don't pay.
And so, but our users are paying for you. You're being paid. So I think they deserve a little premium. Can they get a little premium John Murray comment?
I'm not far enough along through the process yet. No, I can't. The video comes out on Thursday afternoon. How much time do these people need?
This video doesn't need to come out. This is for the early listeners. This is for our loyal people. I'm not asking the unit to clip this and take away from Nesson's content. I'm asking for you, just like I gave my 4 right here. I gave my 4 out. I'm just asking, I get 3 or 4 from you.
I can't do it yet. I'm going to tell you why. The Super Contest lines aren't out yet. They're not even out. I can't do it yet.
They're going to be out in like 2 hours. So you already know what they are. I used to be a proxy, remember? You guys already know what the lines are. Just because you haven't printed out the sheet doesn't mean you don't know. I'm calling collusion and bullshit. I want you guys to jump in the comment section on the YouTube channel and tell John Murray this is bullshit.
That's fine. I've been harassed online many times, not as badly as you have. You want
Oh
to do the
my God,
mailbag?
some guy that trolls the bookmakers that he lost a 10-team parlay. John Murray gets yeah. I'll do the mailbag, John Murray.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't.
I was
You
over here
know that
feeling
I
sorry
don't.
for you.
You know I don't give a flying fuck about people on social media.
Okay. At AC Sport _4 on X says, what are your thoughts on having F1 come to Vegas? Does the SuperBook do anything different when big events like this come to town, especially when it's the first time the event is happening? So yeah, it could be the first time you guys are going to get the Super Bowl
Yeah. We don't. So
as well. So F1's an unmitigated disaster. So speak on that first, and then talk about how
I
it's going to affect
mentioned
your handle.
Lisa came here for lunch. The famous teller, Lisa, former teller. She was complaining about it because she works on the strip now. I think for people that work off the strip, Westgate or maybe the stations, casinos, downtown, the M, it's not a huge inconvenience really. But for the strip employees, it's been a nightmare. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the handle. F1 is not a big handle sport for us, but that's because of a few things. Number one being the time slot. It's usually in a really bad time slot on the West Coast. Number two is the same guy wins every race, and he's going to be a huge favorite to win. My guess is we'll do very well if he does win, because the way people usually bet these things is they try to win a little bit. Win a lot by risking a little on one of the long shots. We are going to have some events here, food and beverage, running some events, hosting some groups that are going to be at the SuperBook watching the race. I really don't know what to make of this thing. I hear the one in Miami is a huge event there every year. Hopefully we can build that up in Las Vegas.
Wait, so they are going to do it every year in Las Vegas?
I don't know. I don't think people
I can't. I've watched the videos of the strip, and I would. Well, I already moved, but I would move if they were going to do that every year. I would just move.
They're incentivizing strip employees to work by like offering them prizes, like raffles to win prizes just for working their scheduled shifts. It's not as much of an issue for the non-strip properties, thankfully. Going to be very interesting, but it's going to be a big advertisement for the city of Las Vegas that's going to be seen all over the world. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be big for betting handle though.
Okay, next up we've got at Trophy Husband 38 on X says, John, what factors do you look at when handicapping the NFL? Nice job on the 10-0. See, more people want to know, and you won't even give them a look into your process.
You know what? I appreciate at Trophy Husband 38. And that's all, you know what? That's all I've ever wanted from Kelly is just like, hey, nice job. That's all I've ever wanted. And I never get it. And it's upsetting. I think the NFL market overreacts a little bit too much. I want to see which way the lines are moving for obvious reasons. I'm looking at the injury reports. Last week I was down to either 49ers or the Colts. And I ended up going with the 49ers because I saw some positive injury news.
Yeah, but see, if you shared those two on the show, our viewers may have said, oh, you know what? I also like the Colts. I agree with John Murray. I'm going to play both.
I was down to those two. And
then you cost them a winner. So you wonder why you wonder why, like, our audience means a lot to me. I rejuvenated the show. I brought it back to life. And they deserve a little something for being
That's
loyal.
Fair. That's fair.
So anyway, who's your short list for this week in the NFL?
I don't know yet.
Bullshit. Give me 2 teams. Give me 2 teams. 3 teams.
I don't even know if I'll use them, but I understand the thought process with the Seattle play. But I'm not saying that's going to be my pick. But I understand. I understand why the sharp money came on Seattle.
Well, this is perfect. Quad _Wah 23 on IG says, is Russ starting to cook?
Well, Russ plays for Denver.
Yeah, but he was in Seattle. It was a good segue. Just go with it.
Is Russ starting to
Damn
cook?
It. I was just trying to find a segue.
Seattle,
Russell Wilson, he won a Super Bowl with them.
I don't even understand the reference. When you say, is Russ starting to cook? Quad Wah, I don't know what you're referring to.
That means, is he getting good? Is Russ finally not a former shell of himself? Is Russell Wilson going to be good for Denver with Sean Payton? Can
I give you my real answer? Because we were actually talking about this at the bar on Monday night. the quarterback play around the NFL is so putrid. It is. It's awful. That, yeah, Russell Wilson is playing pretty well. You've always got to look at everything relative to the market. I mean, everyone is throwing shit at Josh Allen, and he made some mistakes on Monday, and I get it. But look around the league.
On Monday, Josh Allen's been making a lot. I mean,
I know.
Listen, there are two quarterbacks. I said this morning on the Bettor Show. There are two quarterbacks in these like fantasy lineups or in these prop markets that you can bet to throw a touchdown. It's Baker Mayfield and it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, I get it. No. But look around the league at the quarterback play. If you look at the league average quarterback play, is Russell Wilson playing well for Denver? Obviously. He definitely is. And he made some really innovative plays on Monday night.
He looked pretty decent.
And they'll probably beat Minnesota on Sunday night and get back to 500. And think how ridiculous that would have sounded that day where they gave up 70 points to Miami. And Miami could have scored more points. They took their foot off the gas. They could have kept scoring. They stopped.
That was so embarrassing. And they didn't. You know what? They could have had the leading, the all-time scoring record, but they just didn't care. They could have.
The all-time scoring record, the Bears beat the Redskins. At the time, they were called the Washington Redskins. The Bears beat them 73.
For all of you that are under 4 years old, at one point in time, they were called the Washington Redskins.
Well, I was watching the Raider game on Sunday. This always makes me laugh. I mean, I know I'm an idiot, but they called Antonio Pierce an ex-Commanders linebacker. And I was like, no, he wasn't. Antonio Pierce played for the Redskins. And then he went to the Giants and he won a Super Bowl.
Like I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Okay, Braxton Dart, no relation to Jackson Dart.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
I'm pretty sure they both have X's in their name. But I am pretty sure that he would like to know your thoughts on betting in Florida. So, John Murray, have you bet in Florida yet?
Well, I don't. So I saw this question, and what I said was like Kelly's never in Florida, so I don't know.
I have the app. I had the app when it was legal the first time, so I got the early access. So I didn't have to go to the casino and sign up. So it was great.
I wouldn't ask Ariel Epstein for thoughts on betting in New York because she's never in New York. Like I've got to find somebody that's not always traveling to ask what I don't know.
I'm going to say this. When I lived in Las Vegas and there was rumblings of Florida becoming legal, I thought, oh God, we're going to let them have a monopoly. They're going to charge minus 120 on both sides. No, that's not the case. I'm being fully transparent. I know I'm not promoting them. I don't work for them. I don't have plans to work for them in the future. Full disclosure, I'm happy with the app. So far, I've hit some really nice money lines. Remember the other day, you and I were talking about Cowboys and you said, hey, here in Vegas, Cowboys money lines minus 1,700. Had we wanted to hedge, let's just say we were like, you know what? We have a bad feeling about this game. We could have got plus 1,800 to hedge. 18 to 1 on the Giants if we wanted to do so. So having multiple outs is a benefit. It always is. So whether I'm in Tennessee using the SuperBook app or whether I'm in Florida using their app or whether I'm in Las Vegas using apps, it doesn't matter. I think as long as they keep the market fair and they aren't charging egregious amounts on certain, we'll call them exotic bets, and I'm getting fair odds on my parlay when I'm not in a SuperBook state, I'm happy.
That's a fair answer and very politically correct. I'm very proud of you.
I wasn't trying to be. That's just the truth. Kevin Boss. So we got in trouble for using Slow Dangle every single week, and now we're using Kevin Boss every week. At 5 Kevin Boss on X.
Do you have a relationship with Slow Dangle outside of the show? Is that why?
I don't know who that is. All my friends are accusing me of it being my burner account. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I just say whatever I want on my own account. Anyway, Kevin would like to know, what is the best way to attack Alabama to win the national championship? Take the 8-1 now or parlay their money lines into the Georgia game and so on. Or something with FSU, Washington, or Oregon losing.
No. Don't take 8-1. They've already lost, so they're going to have to win out to get to the playoff. So I don't even know, but I'm guessing they probably play a cupcake on Saturday. Is that correct? And then they're going to play the Iron Bowl. That is correct. Then they're going to play the Iron Bowl.
You can't take their money line.
No, forget about this week. But you got the Iron Bowl, and then you've got Georgia.
Which they'll be a huge favorite in the Iron Bowl, too.
Yeah, but you could skip that one.
Because Auburn isn't any good, except for last week when I took Arkansas minus 2.5.
You could skip that one, but you're going to do better running it over. If you want to start in the Georgia game, if you want to start in the Auburn game, if you do the parlay of either 3 consecutive games or 4 consecutive games, probably is the wrong word, the rollover, I'm pretty sure it's going to pay more than 8-1. I'm pretty much positive of that. So
do you have a line that you guys have discussed with Alabama versus Georgia in the SEC championship
Georgia's
game?
going to be like a field goal-ish in that game.
Oh,
maybe a little.
I would have said
more.
I would have said -6. I would have said Georgia -6.
You know what? They might be more now because of what they did to Ole Miss. It's definitely possible. But remember, you don't want to go too high with it. We had this game 2 years ago where Georgia is going to be.
Yes, that was so good. And the whole world was on Georgia. I said, how are you not going to take Alabama as an underdog? Oh, this was so good.
Georgia is going to make the playoff anyway, right? And Alabama has to win to get in. So, yeah, Georgia's favored, but I wouldn't want to go too crazy with it because it actually is better for the conference if Alabama wins.
Yeah, but come on. Georgia doesn't care about the conference. Alabama doesn't care about okay, I'm sorry. I don't care about the conference. These kids cannot care about the conference, right?
Georgia lost that game and they won the
Are you saying the Zebras care about the conference? Is that what you're implying?
I didn't say that.
Is that what you're implying? You might be implying that the Zebras care for the conference, and that's why you shouldn't bet the favorite. Ooh.
I didn't.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around.
The line shouldn't be too high.
Do you think the mob is involved and they fix the game with the SEC refs so that?
Of course, I don't think that.
I love when people say that. Like, this kid's point shaving. I'm like, how much could this kid possibly be point shaving? He plays for a Division II basketball school, essentially. Like, give me a break.
I agree with
that. The mob can get down 5 dimes on the side. So what do they give this kid? $500? Give me a break.
$500 really isn't that much money anymore. I don't think that would work.
John Murray, I love you so much. We are past our time. Do you have anything you'd like to leave our audience with? Because we're gonna be back on Monday. I can't believe I have to see you in like 5 days.
I gotta say here, they said you gotta link and subscribe to get at Kelly Murray Show on X to 10,000 followers. And you know what? That brings me up.
How many followers do we have?
I've never looked.
Oh, I got a text back about our proxy. Would you like to know?
About yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He goes, unfortunately, that's too high. I bought one yesterday for 49% on a Survivor website for $13K. I was looking for a second one to have. I just got to notice there's another one for $12,000 at 49%. Thanks for getting back to me. Enjoy your vacation.
I like that 49% because then we could still, like, if he buys 49%, do we still get to pick the teams, me and you? I like that. We'll talk about it offline.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't think 12 grand's enough. 12 grand, that's $6 grand each.
6 grand. Yeah, but we'd still have half the entry though.
Okay, I'm going to say this. And I don't mean this for everybody, but people always ask why I don't hedge, right? Why didn't you guarantee yourself money on your parlay? Like if you hit the first 2, why not play a little bit back?
Mm-hmm.
Because $6,700 on my $100 parlay, or even if I put 200 on it and it's 12,000 because 6,000 for the dogs or whatever, isn't life-changing money to me. Maybe I should hedge for the dogs because it would be fair for the dogs, so they get more. But like, so here's the thing: 9.7 million is life-changing money.
Yeah, no kidding.
So yes, but how mad would you be if not only do we have to chop $9.7 million, but then we have to give, let's say we get 850,000 and now it goes to 425,000 and is now, do you see my dilemma?
Saying, but
now we're getting 225,000. Like yes, I could buy a nice double wide in Florida with 225,000 maybe. But that's my caveat. I've never been the type to hedge. And I think I would be more mad. Okay, so let's say we go out. Let's say we say no sale, and the Jets lose this week to the Titans. Okay, the Jags lose to the Titans. Jacksonville loses to the Titans this week, and we each could have had $6 grand. I'm not going to be that mad.
Yeah, but see, that's why,
because I don't need $6 grand that bad. Does that make sense?
It does, but that makes you such an unrelatable person because to us working people, $6,000 is like, yeah, 6,000. I mean, it's not really going to change.
I'm not saying it's not $6,000. If I go to the casino tonight here in the Bahamas and I win $6,000 at the blackjack table, I'm going to be really happy.
Right? Are you?
Yeah, to win $6,000 at the blackjack table, blackjack odds are terrible. Casino games are terrible. To win $6,000 at the blackjack table, I'd be very happy.
I don't agree with that. I think I encourage everyone to play casino games. They're fair, and I do not agree with what Kelly said.
Says the guy who takes 10% on every single sports bet. We are past our point here. I just wanted to update everybody on the text message. John Murray, I adore you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Go Jags, and we'll talk Monday.